All right, y'all, thanks for coming to class. Welcome in on a rainy Monday. Thanks to Ernesto for teaching last week. I had a family emergency. I was out of town, so I appreciate that. Sorry we got a little bit of a late start. I was working with Mark on some competition strategy, but that's actually a good lead into this. This is going to be the fourth class we've done in like our agility and mobility series. I'm happy to keep doing these. I will continue to plan classes, but I encourage you guys to come to class with questions or things you want to work on. I'd love to open this up and have it be more of a seminar. Like, I can teach whatever, but like, I would much rather help you guys build your games, whether it's you're working on competitions, you want to get through a position, if it's a flexibility, mobility, strength, whatever. But also, if you're just happy to come here and you just want to turn your minds off and go through a class, I can do that every time. So that's all to say I'm going to come here with the curriculum prepped, but I'm also going to open at the beginning for any questions anyone has. And if we spend the whole 20 minutes of the class working on your problems, I'm happy with that. So if that's cool for y'all, not to put anyone on the spot right now, but if anyone does have any questions right now, feel free to throw them out. Otherwise, we'll get into a class. Anything at all? Cool. No worries, no pressure. But yeah, like I said, feel free to come to the next class with anything you want to work on at all. Happy to go through that. Sound good? Cool. So for the last class in our agility and mobility session, we're going to go over inversions today. And inversions are kind of complicated because you're going upside down. They're a little bit of an advanced thing, but there's some really basic concepts that apply to mostly all inversions. And so we're going to go over a couple of the concepts, and then we'll just do two inversions. One is like the classic berimbolo from guard, and then another one is going to be like a ninja roll from side control or half guard. So if I can use Ernesto. The first things about inversions are, it's like you're going upside down, usually with the goal to attack the back. So we'll start with the berimbolo, and the easiest way to do it is if Ernesto's on one knee and has one knee up, and I'm in de la Riva guard, which is this, essentially. He has 1 foot up, 1 foot down, and I have a hook inside of his leg, and I have his leg here, right? So this is de la Riva guard, and I'm gonna just show the berimbolo really quick, and then we'll talk about it, okay? So here we go. I knock it on his foot. I roll through, pull this leg to me, and I'm on his back, okay? And so I've inverted to take his back. So the one main concept that applies whether I'm on the bottom or the top is that I have his leg between my legs. It could also look like I have my leg between his legs, right? But the idea is that I'm going to use his legs as a lever to rotate his body, okay? That's the concept of an inversion. So for the berimbolo to work, a couple things have to happen. Again, I need his leg between my legs, right? So that's what this is. And then I need his butt on the ground, and that's gonna let me turn him like a top once his butt's on the ground. The easiest way to get that from here is if I feed this through deep, and I'm just gonna kick. So that's my leg between his legs, step one. Step two, his butt's on the ground. The third part is the actual inversion, and this is the most complicated part, but we do this sometimes for warm-ups. It's that grandy roll, or this, you're just going onto your back, right? So from here, we've knocked him on his butt. I'm just going onto my back, right? That's all I'm really doing. I'm throwing this arm under my leg, and I'm just going onto my shoulder. And now I'm upside down. I've got his leg between my legs, so I can bite and turn, and now I've exposed his back. The easiest thing to do is just pull him to me. It doesn't have to look nice or fancy, but those are the three steps. Are there any questions on those concepts? Okay, cool. So for the first one, we're just gonna do the berimbolo. Those are the three steps, but I'll go through the little details for this particular position. So we're starting in de la Riva guard. I need to have my left hand on his right leg, and that just stops him from moving this when I go to kick. The other hand, it can be on a collar or belt. It can be on the sleeve. For me, I like the collar because it's posture control. It keeps him from going away. So again, I'm gonna plant my foot and kick. So now I put his butt on the ground, and I have his leg between my legs. To help with the inversion, the collar's really nice because I can pull myself towards him, and I'm really thinking about rolling with my head against his hip. So watch my head, I come here. My head's under his butt. But this helps because this is the leg I'm using as the lever to turn his back. And now to finish, it doesn't have to be really fancy. I like to grab the collar and just pull, get this other hook in, and then I can come to the back and finish with a seat up through. Any questions on that? Does anyone need to see it again? Do you need to see it?
I think.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go with our partners. We're gonna try that a couple times. I'll walk around I'll answer any questions as we go. Sound good? All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we went around and helped a couple of people. I'm sure there's a bunch of questions, so I'd rather address the questions first before I start going over details, but so you don't forget the questions. But are there any questions on how to do that technique or a part of it? Yeah.
I guess mine would be, she kept ending up like on the side.
Okay.
Like she wasn't ending up like
Was that before or after she rolled? Like she rolled
after she rolled.
after she rolled,
Yeah.
she's too far away? Okay. So I'll use Ernesto here. So let me think about this. Maybe I want to do it on this him my head. So I'm gonna knock him down, right? So this is the first step. And we're here. So you're saying she's like probably rolling too far away.
Okay, well I'm already rolled over, and then once I rolled her over, she's like, she ends right here. She was ending like this, but she wasn't. I don't know if I wasn't pulling her.
Oh, so you were doing it to her?
Yeah, I was doing it.
Oh, okay. And so you were barrel rolling her, and she was rolled too far? Is
She
that what
like
you're saying?
turtle, but she ended up in like a turtle position.
Okay.
I wasn't on her back.
Got it. Okay. So what's probably happening is you're probably over rotating her.
Oh.
So we'll just go from the top. So I get this across, I kick him on his butt, he gets to here, right? So the first thing I want to make sure I keep this grip and the leg. And the reason I want to keep the leg is because all I'm doing is feeding this arm under my leg essentially and rolling like this. That's the whole technique. It looks a lot more complicated than it is because all I'm doing is just rolling. And so I want to make sure I get my head towards his butt and I can pull him towards me. So the over rotation is going to happen at this stage, like when I'm trying to actually use my leg with a lever to pull him. So I want to think about keeping a grip on his leg and biting with my leg and turning him like this, okay? Once he's turned this far, this top leg is now exposed. I'm going to grab that pant and put my knee behind his knee. Now his back is facing me, I've got his leg, and I still have his collar. Ernesto, try to turn towards me.
This way or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can't really recover. What he could do is turtle, right? He can go that way. But I still have a hook inside and this leg, so he really can't get away. So the lowest tack finish from here is I just scoop back, keep holding this. This hand that was on his collar just shoots under his head, and I finish on his back. Any questions about that? So to answer your question, the over rotation, I think you were probably just spinning her too much once you got to that leg part. So once you're here, all you need to do is think about doing like a hamstring curl or stomping your foot. And like this isn't a great position to be in as far as finishing the berimbolo because his weight isn't really on you, but his top leg is exposed, and all I really need to get is my knee behind his knee and then kick. And now we're here. Does that help at all?
No, I was missing that little last part.
Yeah. One other detail that I keep forgetting to mention is what your other leg is doing when you're doing this. So once we get to here, it helps if I come to here and this leg comes here. This. Make sure that my bottom hook stays in when I go to finish. I saw some people, it was like kind of floating in the air. If you attach it to them, it helps finish the movement. Any other questions on the berimbolo? Cool, yeah, that's a really advanced, complicated maneuver. It takes a lot to practice and work on it, but the more you work on it, the easier it'll become. So now we're going to show a ninja roll, which is essentially the same thing, just from side control. So I'm going to use Ernesto again, and we'll start facing just to see what happens. But so I'm on Ernesto's side, like this. And so again, for an inversion, I need his leg between my legs, or the other way around, my leg between his legs, right? So we're going to say that we start from side control. I'm going to clear this space and get my arms here so that I can hold his belt and anchor my elbow. I'm realizing now we should rotate a little bit. So now that we've got that part, right? I've got this space cleared. I'm going to switch hips and come here. So from here, it's really easy to mount, right? I can do this. So to prevent that, he's probably going to bring this leg in and try to stop me from mounting, which is what I need to ninja roll. So the key details here are I need to get this leg between my legs, and I also need to keep my knee on the ground. And the reason for that is that when we get into this position, he can take my back and I can take his back because we have the same thing. right? My leg is between his legs, and his leg is between my legs. But if I can keep my knee on the ground, that stops it from happening. Then I roll, and I kick, and now we're in the position that we were in earlier for the berimbolo, and I finished it back.
You're holding his belt the whole time?
Yeah, his belt or anything I can get my hands on. I'll show it again. So this is just an inversion from the top, but it's the same thing that we were doing. So again, I'm starting with side control. I'm going to open up a little window for myself. Clear it. I'm going to anchor on his belt, which lets me switch hips. He's going to do this, generally. But if he doesn't, if he does this, then I just grab his leg and I make him do it. And I hook like this. Okay? Then we're here. I have my hand on his belt and his leg. I'm going to think about putting my head towards his butt, and I'm going to roll over my shoulder. And we land here. I can use this leg to kick, grab his collar, pull him. I'm on his back. Any questions about that? Well, this is another tricky one, so.
Maybe I can see it. Can I see
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Do you mind if I use you?
Yeah.
Thanks. So yeah, we're on the side. I'm gonna open up a little picture for myself. Anchor here. You come to here. This leg, I have to keep my leg low. My knee on the ground. As I hook in here, then I'm just rolling over this shoulder. And he comes with me. Collar. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, go with your partners and we'll work on this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Ernesto's gonna assume he gets inside. I forgot to talk about like the roll part and going towards his leg. That kind of makes this a little easier. So we'll just get to here. I'm gonna think about rolling towards his foot. And that makes it a lot easier. So that's a little detail I forgot to mention. If you reach for his foot as you roll, like you'll go to the right place every time. And also controlling that leg helps as you're hitting that transition.
What was it one more time?
Yeah. And I'll let you see it too.
So that's more open.
Yeah. So we're here. I'm thinking about rolling towards his foot. And then you can like it. Are you see real quick? Here. And I'm rolling towards his foot. Any other questions on that? Again, inversions are like advanced, it's really difficult. You guys did a great job today. Take the water and I'll start working the sparring. 1, 2, 3.